What it do, what it do. Welcome to another one over here, Game Chopping TV. Tap in, like, comment, and subscribe, because we chopping this game over here, man. I had to tap into this one, man. So, I know I pretty much got wind of it around last night sometime, but it looks like that man Drizzy Drake, he, decided to purchase 2Pac's Death Row All Eyes on You chain, created in 1996. You know what I'm saying? That's crazy work. That's crazy work right there. But he purchased it. And man, this is a little bit to unpack here, you know what I'm saying? Because it's crazy and smart. What I will say though, you do have backlash, you know what I'm saying? There's a few rappers that responded. Like Daz Dillinger, you know what I'm saying? I think he said he still got his or something like that, and was saying that those the diamonds in it are light, not heavy. Then he just screw Death Row. Really, he said with the F word, but that's of course that's been a Daz take for a minute, man. He ain't messing with Suge, man. He don't like Suge. I guess he got ripped off by him and all things like that, and then just whatever must have went down when that moment was that moment of Death Row being Death Row. Then one other person that I was like, dang, that man Rappin 4-Tay, for those that don't know, Bay Area legend, out of San Francisco, rapper. And this kind of surprised me because I know Drake had here recently not too long ago, sampled one of 4-Tay's songs from the Players Club. He sampled, I can't, you could go look that up though, but he sampled one of 4-Tay songs for one of his songs. And the song is Players Club from 4-Tay that he sampled. And I believe, I'm not, but I'm pretty sure maybe 4-Tay, got brought in on some compensation with that or something, because I remember when that kicked off and, they were kind of, I don't know if they were trying to leave 4-Tay out or what, but that's, whose song that the man really, used samples from type stuff, So, but yeah, so if he did get cut in, I was kind of surprised to see that 4-Tay says, you don't deserve that chain. I'm talking about that 2Pac All Eyes on Me chain, that Death Row chain. He said, you don't deserve that chain. And what's been going on when you look at it, the way Drake has been kind of handling things, especially recently, with putting out a lawsuit against Kendrick Lamar over that song, you know what I'm saying, being very bitter about it, just how, being a rap sportsman, I guess you could say, in the sport, not wanting to compete much. Instead, you went for a lawsuit. Different things like that. Drake, yeah, he does make good music, but right now, people ain't forgot. His reaction to Not Like Us. People ain't forgotten, and now he goes back and trying to go purchase Pac, somebody that's, for as long as he lives, seemed to have stood on something different. But, so I guess, that's maybe why people like Rappin 4-Tay would say, you don't deserve that chain because, you don't match up to what Pac was, you know what I'm saying? I guess is what he's saying. Daz, he just saying screw that chain, basically, screw the company. Like that, why would you even buy it, I guess, right? So I'm not sure, but I'm looking at this on the other side of things. And the way I'm looking at it is, it's a smart move in a way, actually. No, career-wise, no, he doesn't match his career talent. His talent, he sold a lot of records, you know what I'm saying? He's got the talent. But as far as how how he operates his career with, especially like we'll say with the beef that happened with Kim and K Dot and stuff like that, I don't feel like that's the way Pac would have handled it. And I don't think none of us could agree that Pac would have went the road that Drake did during this beef. You know what I'm saying? But I kind of look at it as a smart move. I think in my opinion, it's a smart investment. I think it's a smart investment because, I mean, where was the chain just hanging and dangling at to be for sale like that? I wonder, like, how come, none of Pac close family or something didn't have that chain, or stuff like that. Who had the chain? Who sold the chain? I guess you have to look into that, but that's a smart investment because I'm not sure how much he paid for it. I guess I have to look into that too. But Pac's name is still mentioned. People still treat him like almost like a Elvis of rap, to the point where they don't believe that he actually died. Some people still think he's still alive. That's the only other person that you see kind of being treated like that, like he's potentially still alive. Like, what I'm saying? So his name is carrying on, and it's so much controversy behind him and his death. Like, his name's still well and alive. Music's still well and alive. Stuff he talked about, movies, all that, still well and alive. So, just imagine some years from now, you know what I'm saying? I don't know where he got the chain at, where it was just sitting there dangling for sale at, but now he has a piece of property of Pac's. You know what I'm saying? That chain that I guess Pac wore and all that. I'm not sure if he feels like that should do something for him or give him some kind of energy, juice, or something vibe. I don't know, but as far as an investment, years later from now on, even when Drake gets older, you know what I'm saying? When Drake gets older and stuff like that, and all of us get older, maybe Drake's kid. By the time Drake kid gets older, or Drake grandkids get older, whatever have you, imagine how much that chain will be worth then. With all this talk, because Pac ain't went nowhere as far as his legacy and his, things like that. Just imagine how much that chain will be worth in maybe Drake's grandkids' legacy. In those type of times, when he has grandkids that are up in their 20s or something like that, you know what I'm saying? That is going to be valuable if they choose to resell it. You know what I'm saying? If they choose to resell something that belonged to Pac around later times, years later, that's gonna be worth some money. And I'm not sure if it's something that he's like, oh, I'm holding on to it because that was my favorite rapper, or was a rapper whose career I respected, and this type of stuff. But now we're talking numbers here, and whatever he paid for it, I'm sure his kids, his grandkids, or whoever it may be left to, if they're still around by the time they're older, they're gonna be able to get, I'm pretty sure, a lot more than what Drake paid for that chain. You know what I'm saying? So I look at it as an investment almost. And maybe in some cases, you might want to invest in certain people who are real popular, certain items that they had, because you go back and look at these, like, just cards, for example, besides the material. So go back and look at some of these basketball cards. Go back and look at some of these baseball cards. I had a collection of them. I hate that I don't have them no more, because if you go, I was always told, that these certain cards and things like that would be worth money. Ah, man, I sure hate that I don't have certain cards that I had, because just even cards of sports players are worth so much money now, certain ones. So just imagine a valuable like that, or a gold chain with diamonds in it too, of a very popular celebrity who lives on, through his career in music, I guess you could say. You know what I'm saying? So, no, like Rappin 4-Tay said, no, Drake might not deserve that chain. No, he might not deserve it. But that's a dang on good investment. I'm looking at it in a different way. Like, this is something that people are always talking about, and probably will be forever. Not forever, but I mean, who knows? They're still talking about it. Maybe we'll continue to talk about it. Talk about Pac and his career and how everything happened and blah blah blah. And that's something valuable. We don't realize it in the moments, especially for those that even knew him. But the outside world looks at him, holds him to a higher light. So, like I say, I think that was a good investment. But maybe that wasn't an investment. But just in case, I think the way Drake moves, I think that was an investment because hell, when the beef kicked off, instead of just going back and forth with Kendrick, he figured out a way to, turn it into dollars. So, I mean, hey, it's smart in my opinion. But I don't know. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this, man. Did Drake just buy this because that's one of his idols? He wants to hold on to it and save it forever or something? I mean, I'm pretty sure he doesn't, I'm pretty sure he wants to hold on to it, of course, as long as he can keep it. Because that's, later on, years from now, it will be worth way more than what he paid for. I bet you. You know what I'm saying? But that's my take. I think it's an investment. I don't think it's something that he wants to take. You might try to wear it, take a picture with it. I don't know. Who knows? But I think it's an investment. Other than that, does he deserve? Like I say, as far as the careers definitely don't matter. So, you know what I'm saying? But I don't know, man. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this in the comments, though. You know what I'm saying? Y'all think Drake did this as a business move, an investment? I mean, do y'all think that he's gonna try to wear it, sport it? Now it's his idol or something like that. I don't know. Y'all let me know what y'all think about this, though, man. It's another one over here, Game Chopping TV. Tap in, like, comment, and subscribe because we chopping this game over here, man.